Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today, and we are starting with Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. We have a new report that gives us a little bit of insight into maybe what we can expect when it comes to the gameplay of this title. I think that this is the big question with Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. A lot of people, I think, weren't necessarily completely sold on the first trailer that we saw, which was basically introducing the main character and kind of setting up the plot and whatnot. A lot of people were sold on it, but I think right now people just really want to know what the gameplay is going to be like, because Naughty Dog did tease that the gameplay of Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, is going to be much different from previous games. It's going to be their most ambitious game, I guess you could say, in terms of what they want to achieve with gameplay mechanics. So this is being reported by WCCF Tech. They say Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet may be very different from what we're used to in Naughty Dog games. The studio's trademark has usually been cinematic, narrative-driven games, at least since Uncharted and, of course, The Last of Us. However, MidMax's Ben Hansen teased that he had heard from his sources that the studio's next project was being compared to something else. In an October 2024 podcast, he said, "I heard from somebody very in the know who worked on the game that they're like, the tone was like, you all are not ready for how amazing this is going to be." And the tone was, well, I'm not going to say the game that they referenced or compared it to, but they compared it to a game with a lot of player freedom. Back then, we did not have all of the details unveiled. What happened a couple months later is the debut trailer at the Game Awards, of course. Now that the dust has settled, in the latest episode of the MidMax show, Ben Hansen did confirm exactly which game Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, was being likened to. I think it's fine to say now the game was Elden Ring that it was being compared to back in October. But if I would have said Naughty Dog's next game is like Elden Ring, and then that reveal trailer came out, I feel like we would have been lit on fire. But now that idea of, okay, it's taking place on this planet, kind of uncovering the history of this world, you can kind of see a little more where they might be going with that. The game director, Neil Druckmann, has since provided a little bit more context before the reveal. He admitted that the new game was fresh for the studio, and he was curious about the players' reactions. So I do remember covering this back in October where, it was kind of interesting to hear that Naughty Dog's next game is being compared to another massive game that gives you an incredible amount of freedom. So I do have to imagine at this point that Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, is going to deviate significantly from previous Naughty Dog games, where you're going to be able to just kind of go out there on your own, go where you want, and explore in however way you want to, right? I think that there's a good chance this game could be open world. We don't have that officially confirmed yet. But yeah, Elden Ring is the game that apparently was being referenced when it comes to the comparisons between Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, and what you can expect gameplay-wise. It's going to be very interesting to see if people feel similarly to that comparison when we actually see the gameplay. Moving on to the next topic here, Sony confirms the controversial PlayStation tech demo AI leak. Last week, an internal PlayStation tech demo leaked, causing quite a stir. The video showcased Aloy from the Horizon series powered by AI rather than a real voice and motion capture work, leaving players concerned for the future of PlayStation Studios games. Aloy actress Ashley Birch has since confirmed that the tech demo is real, and someone from Sony got in touch with her about it. We didn't really doubt that the tech demo was real since it was hit by copyright strikes that were tracked back to Sony Interactive Entertainment. However, Ashley Birch directly confirmed to fans in a public TikTok video that Guerrilla Games contacted her to assure her that the video did not reflect any in-development work and it wasn't her performance that was used to train AI. That said, Birch pointed out that despite the fact that the character Aloy is property of Sony, the threat of AI abuse is very much real, something the SAG-AFTRA union is actively fighting against. What we're fighting for is that you have to get our consent before you make an AI version of us in any form. You have to compensate us fairly, and you have to tell us how you're using this AI double, adding that she's not worried about the technology itself, rather how it's used. I just imagine a video like this coming out that does have someone's performance attached to it, that does have someone's voice or face or movement, and the possibility that if we lose this fight, that person would have no recourse. So Yeah, this is a video that Ashley Birch put out that basically trended in response to this leaked concept, I guess, internal demonstration of this AI technology at Sony. And yeah, it's highly controversial. I've seen very few positive takes on this. I mean, there are some people who can see how something like this can be used in a positive way, in a good way. There's no denying that these companies are going to find ways to use this technology. But yeah, when it comes to replicating or replacing, voice actors and actresses and the talent, that's where things get controversial, and it's going to be a slippery slope, no doubt about it, as this technology continues to improve and companies want to leverage it. But yeah, we'll continue to monitor what's going on with this Sony AI thing that they're doing, and I'll be sure to report to you guys if we get any more information on this. But we're going to move on to the final topic, which is a new rumor regarding Resident Evil 9. I'm covering this because I know a lot of you guys are eagerly anticipating the announcement of Resident Evil 9, but I do want to emphasize, take this with a pinch of salt because I don't know how much truth there is to it. But speaking on X, well-known Resident Evil series insider Dusk Golem talked about the 9th main entry in the survival horror series by Capcom, saying that fans will realize why the new game is taking this long to release when it is revealed. And it is a big reinvention of the series as much as the 4th and 7th entries in the series were, and it's going to be very ambitious and will try new things, and it's not going to play like any of its direct predecessors or remakes. Dusk Golem also seems certain that it will be revealed this year, so hopefully we'll be getting that soon. And so it's not necessarily like major information. There were earlier rumors that claim that the game is going to focus on Leon and Jill, and it's hard to say if any of these rumors were true, but I do find this kind of interesting because, yeah, Resident Evil 9 is taking a bit longer than usual, and it's going to be really interesting if they are trying to reinvent Resident Evil once again. I mean, you have to really kind of wonder what that looks like. We saw the reinvention with Resident Evil 4, over the shoulder, more action. We see the reinvention with Resident Evil 7, first person, more horror focused. What could the reinvention be this time around? Very interesting. I'm actually curious to know if you guys have any ideas. If you do, let me know down in the comments. But that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.